Thank you for having me. This is my first event here, and what a time. This is really, really fantastic. So, my name is Rick Daines. 20 years ago, I graduated from college, convinced a total babe to marry me, and we moved to Key West, Florida, and started our lives together. And we wanted to start a family. And if you've known my wife, she has these pictures when she was a little girl. She has this really round face with huge dimples, and we just knew we were going to have this little girl. And I woke up one day, and there were 3 boys in my house calling me dad. And so right off the bat, just things weren't going as planned. Our oldest was Jefferson, and he was just as precocious as can be. He was advanced in everything, socially, academically, physically, right on up there. And our second child is Tyler, and I'm holding him in my left arm right there, and he was polar opposite. He was completely different. Slow to develop, slow to talk, slow to walk, had all kinds of odd behaviors. He wasn't learning. He wasn't in the right place. And it was just really stressful. And Robin didn't like the way I was contributing to the family, and I didn't like the way she was running things, and it was really a hard time. And the only way I could get a release from anything was to sleep. And I went to sleep one day, and just in deep REM, and all of a sudden, this bear jumps on top of me. She's yelling at me, get up, and her voice is strangely just like my wife's voice. And she says, we have an IEP meeting tomorrow. We don't know what we're doing. The school doesn't know what they're doing. Our IEP team doesn't know what we're doing, and our child is in the wrong place. And it was, so I got up, and we tried to figure it out, and we just were searching for answers. And I wish I could just, I know a lot of you have been in that situation where you're just looking for answers, and it was tough. And when you want to give up, then things break apart. And I didn't want things to break apart. Benjamin Franklin said, when you're finished changing, you're finished. And I realized that if I wasn't going to allow myself to change and make things better, then we were finished, and I didn't want to have that. So Robin and I started going to classes. We started reading books. We started doing studies. People wanted to do studies on us, all kinds of things. And every time we learned a lesson, reality check, creating memories, making things fun around the home for the kids and for your wife. IEP meetings, you got to formulate the ultimate plan to go in the IEP meeting. I wrote all of these lessons down. Every time it happened, I'd research it, and I'd figure something out. What happens to my wife, or what happens to me when my kid is being threatened? And I had to learn what my limits were and how many times I could get hit and keep rolling. Antecedents, priorities, and POGs. Oh, I love POGs. Parents-only getaways. And Robin and I, we jumped on a plane and we went to Mexico away from everybody else. And after a couple days, Robin said, you know, Rick, I like you. And I said, you know, I like you too. And we said, let's figure this out. And without any kids or without any people around, we formulated a plan, how we were going to change, how we were going to make things work. And we're changing, evolving, and getting it done. And Robin came to me one day and she said, hey, Rick, you know, life is really sweet to us. And I think that we need to try to have that girl. And I said, well, we tried to have a girl. We tried 3 times to have a girl. We can't make a girl. We can't do it. And she said, yeah, I think we can. And I said, no, I don't think so. We went for it anyway, and guess what happened? We got the princess. Yes. Our summer, she came out exactly as we planned, the only thing in our entire marriage that worked out exactly as planned. And she was so sweet and just such a blessing to our lives. And she was about 2 years old. And Robin said, hey, Rick, you know, we got the boys, right? We got the boys. And then Summer, she's all by herself, and she needs a friend. And I said, she'll have friends. She said, no. She needs a friend. She needs a playmate. And so, okay, all right. So we thought we'll have one more kid, and it'll be a carbon copy of her, basically the exact same sweetness, same everything. And so this is what we got. That's why that guy is talking today. We received more sweetness than we'd ever imagined, and it came in the form of this little boy. His name is Eli, who has Down syndrome. For me, I feel like those setbacks and all of those obstacles were there to teach me something. In fact, that kid that I'm holding right there in my arms has been determined to make me a better person than I ever thought possible. And I would say the same thing for everybody here associated with Down syndrome in the Down syndrome community. Your children, particularly the ones with special needs, have made you into a better person than you would have been otherwise.